Our digestive system processes food to extract nutrients and energy from it. It has various functions, which are also the stages: ingestion, digestion, absorption, and elimination. Different organs, hormones, and enzymes work together for completing the process of digestion. The digestive tract, also called the alimentary canal, runs from the mouth to the anus. So this is one long tube which has structurally and functionally modified, and it ends at the anus. Along with that, there are several accessory organs such as liver, pancreas, and gallbladder, which pour their secretions into the alimentary canal to assist the process of digestion. The process of digestion involves ingestion, which is the intake of food; propulsion, which is the movement of food down the esophagus to the stomach through the process called peristalsis. So peristalsis is the movement of esophagus which pushes the food down; mechanical digestion, which involves chewing, churning, and segmentation to break the food particles into smaller pieces so they are in more digestible form. After the food is soft and well chewed, it can then be acted upon by enzymes in chemical digestion. After the completion of chemical digestion, the nutrients are absorbed and they enter into the bloodstream. From there, it is circulated all across the body and assimilated into the tissues that need that food for production of energy. The waste material is then eliminated in the process of defecation. The first part of our digestive system is our mouth. Mouth has teeth and tongue that assist in mechanical digestion of the food by breaking the food into smaller pieces. Saliva is produced by salivary glands. There are three pairs of salivary glands in our mouth. One is close to ear, it's called the parotid gland. One is under the tongue, called sublingual gland, and one is close to the lower jaw, and it is called submandibular. Saliva contains salivary amylase, which helps in breaking down carbohydrates. So we can say that the digestion of carbohydrates starts in the mouth. In mouth, the food bolus is formed, which is soft and moist, and it can be swallowed easily. The next part is pharynx. Pharynx is what connects mouth to esophagus. Esophagus is this long tube that transports food from the mouth to the stomach through the process of peristalsis, which is the wave-like motion that you're seeing in the picture here. Epiglottis is a flap that covers the windpipe so that our food doesn't enter the windpipe. Next part of the digestive system is the stomach. Stomach is where the food is stored and mixed and chemically digested. Gastric juices, or the juices of our stomach, contain pepsin, which digests protein; hydrochloric acid, which kills microbes and activates this enzyme. Then there is mucus that protects the lining of stomach from the effect of this acid. Once the food has been partially digested in the stomach, it's called chyme, and chyme is acidic in nature because it has been mixed with the hydrochloric acid. Next to stomach is the small intestine. This long tube which you see in the picture, and it starts from stomach and ends at the large intestine. The small intestine has three regions. First is duodenum, where most of the chemical digestion takes place. It's followed by jejunum and ileum, which are the main sites of absorption of nutrients. The inner surface of small intestine has villi, which are the folds in the epithelial lining, and microvilli, which are actually the folds in the plasma membrane of those epithelial cells. This multi-level folding ensures that the surface area of small intestine is large enough to absorb as much nutrient as possible. Three very important glands associated with the small intestine are liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. So liver produces bile. Bile is used to break down the large fat globule into smaller droplets, and that process is called emulsification. So emulsification helps in other enzymes to act upon fats which cannot act on the big globule or droplet of fat. Bile itself does not digest fat, but it breaks down fat into smaller droplets which other enzymes can then digest. Gallbladder doesn't produce bile of its own, but it stores the bile from liver and releases it when it is required. Pancreas is a very interesting and important digestive organ. It produces digestive enzymes as well as bicarbonates, which neutralizes the acidity of hydrochloric acid which was mixed into this food from stomach. Next to small intestine is the large intestine. So the large intestine is mainly associated with absorption of water and electrolytes. It houses several gut microbiota which are helpful in production of important vitamins like vitamin K and B12 in human body. After absorption of water, the food is then condensed or solidified into feces, and these feces are removed from the body in the process of elimination. Some disorders of digestive system can be gastric ulcers. So these gastric ulcers are the erosions of stomach lining caused by the infection of Helicobacter pylori. Acid reflux or GERD is a situation when the stomach acid starts moving into the esophagus and starts causing damage of the lining of esophagus. Lactose intolerance is the inability of some people to digest lactose, so they started feeling bloating or indigestion if they drink milk. Irritable bowel syndrome is the chronic discomfort of our digestive tract, and people feel pain or inflammation in their abdominal areas. Celiac disease is an autoimmune reaction to gluten. So some people who are sensitive to gluten or wheat, they feel pain or inflammation if they eat wheat or gluten. Now let's talk about nutrition. Nutrition is the process of obtaining essential nutrients for growth, repair, and energy. There are two different kinds of nutrients, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and micronutrients are vitamins and minerals which we require only in small quantity. Macronutrients such as carbohydrates are the primary source of energy, and they are obtained from grains, fruits, and dairy. Proteins are very important for tissue repair and enzyme function, and we obtain protein from meat, legumes, and eggs. Fats are the long-term energy storage of our body, and they are also essential component of the cell membrane. We obtain fat from nuts, oils, and dairy in our food. In micronutrients, we include vitamins and minerals which are required only in small quantity in our body. Vitamins are of two types depending on whether they are fat soluble or water soluble. Fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K, and water soluble vitamins are B complex, and they must be consumed daily because they cannot be stored in fat in our body. Minerals required in our body are further the ones that are required in bit larger quantity, such as calcium, potassium, and sodium, and those that are required in very trace or small amounts, such as iron, zinc, and iodine. Other than these nutrients, we also require fiber in our diet, which promotes digestion and helps with constipation, and enough water, which is essential for maintaining metabolism, regulating temperature, and removing wastes. So it's essential to eat a healthy, balanced diet. If you don't have enough information about what a healthy diet or a balanced diet would look like, You can obtain this information from myplate.gov. Basically, it says that your plate should be half full of fruits and vegetables, and 1/4 should be grains, and 1/4 should be proteins, and your diet should also include dairy products. The goal is to reduce processed food and excess sugar in our diet. Now let's look at the chemistry behind the process of digestion. Catabolism is the breakdown of macronutrients into energy. Anabolism is building complex molecules from these nutrients. So the digestion process involves both these steps. First, in your gut, you break down complex food into simpler food which can be easily absorbed by your body. Then you take these building blocks and make complex molecules from them which are required for different functions in your body. For example, let's say you eat any kind of protein, and that protein is then broken down into amino acids which are then used as a building block to build several different kinds of proteins required for your body. The process of digestion is not only governed by the enzymes, but also hormones play a significant role in understanding the internal environment of your body, how much sugar your body needs, or how much metabolism your body needs for growth, development, and then those hormones influence your process of digestion. So now let's look at how each of different kind of nutrient is digested in our alimentary canal. First are carbohydrates. The carbohydrate digestion starts in the mouth. In mouth, we have salivary amylase in the saliva, which breaks down starch into maltose. In stomach, there are no specific enzymes for digesting carbohydrates, but the acid in stomach inactivates the salivary amylase. When food enters the small intestine, again, pancreas has pancreatic amylase, which further breaks down starch into maltose. In the small intestine, you have intestinal enzymes such as maltose, sucrose, lactose, which break down these disaccharides into monosaccharides. So you break down a dual sugar or a double sugar into a single sugar molecule. Then it gets into a digestible or absorbable form. For the digestion of protein, there are no specific enzymes in mouth, so mainly the digestion of protein starts in the stomach. Stomach has pepsin, which is activated by hydrochloric acid of stomach itself, and it breaks down proteins into peptides. In small intestine, we have pancreatic enzymes which contains trypsin and chymotrypsin, both of which again act on proteins to break them down into peptides. Then peptidases act on peptides to break them down into amino acids, and amino acids are what our body can absorb. Fats or lipids are minimally digested in mouth or stomach by lingual or gastric lipases. Mainly its digestion starts after the bile from liver has acted upon these large droplets of fat and broken them down into smaller droplets. Once this emulsification has happened, then the pancreatic lipase can break these triglycerides into glycerol and fatty acid. Although nucleic acid are not a very rich source of nutrition or energy for our body, but small intestine has pancreatic nucleases which breaks down DNA and RNA, and these nucleotides are essential as a building block for synthesizing DNA, which is required for cell division and cell cycle completion. Common nutritional disorders are obesity, which is associated with excess body fat due to high calorie diet or low physical activity. The other side of this condition is malnutrition, where people are not taking enough nutrients or enough food, leading to deficiency diseases, especially in poorer countries. Other vitamin deficiency diseases are vitamin D deficiency, which causes rickets, that is associated with weak bones, or deficiency of vitamin C can cause scurvy, which causes bleeding gums, and deficiency of iron can lead to anemia that is associated with low red blood cell production. So in today's lecture, we learned the basics of the digestive system and how it breaks down and absorbs nutrients. We also learned about the key organs and enzymes of digestion, what are macronutrients and micronutrients, and why is a balanced diet essential for a proper functioning of our body.